Hi, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to talk today about the 6 line profile. And I think that there might be some, I don't know if it's a misunderstanding or misinformation or what it is, but the energy of what people are talking about when we're going on the roof, that type of energy, and what does it actually mean? If we're talking about the profile, we have three different phases. The first phase is from 0 to about your Saturn return, which is about 28 to 29 years. You do your experimenting. It is sort of the time when you're kind of considered to have a third line profile, although you don't really have a third line profile. Whatever you do during your experimentation, you move on to the roof stage. And in the roof stage, or during that time, this is a time of healing, understanding what you went through, what it felt like, and why, life happened the way it did. So it is a time of really understanding what everything meant. And then the next phase is when you go to your Chiron return, which is, between 49 and 51 years old, when you have your Chiron return and you come off the roof, and then you are considered a role model. A lot of things to say about the third line phase is that this is when you're considered to be what Ra Uru called prototype you. So in other words, it's almost like you are a butterfly that is in a cocoon, and then you become the butterfly when you become the role model. I also like to use the dragonfly analogy as well, because you have dragonflies are a nymph before they become a dragonfly. And so underwater, they spend a lot of time underwater where, they're growing, they're eating, they're doing all the things that they do. And then eventually one day they crawl up a reed, and then their wings come out, and then they fly. And I like that analogy for a 6 line profile as well. And when you look at a 6 line profile, there is a lot of the sort of becoming energy. And a lot of people get nervous about that, and their anxiety, because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going on the roof. So I mean, that's it for my life. I'm finished. But it really isn't. And I think that that's where I might have even been, I might have even sort of kind of fed into this energy with older videos that I have, of this idea of you go on the roof and everything stops. It doesn't stop. In fact, it is a time where you could be doing the job that you always done. You're getting pay raises, you're getting upgrades, you're doing things that you've always done. It basically is a time where you're still living your life. You always have to look at your whole design and how it is going to play out in the world. And the 6 line is a profile line. Absolutely, that is so important. But having said that, it is also going to, your whole chart is going to be different than my chart. I'm a 6-2 manifesting generator. And, I went through all my phases, and it is the time when you're in the most mutative time up until your Chiron return. And then when you hit your Chiron return, the mutation is finished. And now you are sort of, you've got all the tools you need. You've got everything you need to go out in the world and be a role model. Now, the way I express my role model energy is completely different from other people who express their role model energy. And that's the whole point. We are here to be ourselves. You can do whatever you want to do. Your life does not stop when you're on the roof. It plays out the way it plays out. And I think the one thing that usually happens is people say, well, I like to go out and do things with people. And yeah, that's completely fine. You can continue to go out and do things with people, especially if you're a fourth line. But the one thing that most people say, well, maybe they're not so interested in going out and doing the things they did before, or maybe they're more choosy. Maybe you say, well, I'm not just going to go out and do this and that because it doesn't feel like it's worth my time and effort anymore. And that's where there's sort of like you are wanting to slow yourself down if it feels correct. But if it doesn't feel correct, you can continue on the same pace you've always gone. Nobody is going to be the same in the roof stage as anybody else. Now, for my roof stage was when I had all my children. And that's, they were all with me, and I was still as busy as I was before, but I was busy in a different way. But that was a choice I had made. That was a transition in my life that just kind of happened at my Saturn return, that I didn't plan, I didn't expect, but it was part of my process of what I was moving through. So there is no, when I'm on the roof, A, B, and C is going to shift. Basically, when you're on the roof, it's going to be your experience, and you're going to do whatever feels correct for you. And ultimately, there is no right or wrong way to do the roof. It's just part of life. It's part of, it's a long time. that you're going through this process of transformation. And that truly is what it is, transforming into somebody else. And it's part of who you are. And I think we all transform into somebody else, no matter if we're six line profile or not. We're always transforming because, who I was when I was 15 is not who I am right now. And so these are types of things that are normal. We normally transform and change and become somebody else based on our choice, based on our experience, based on life. And so please never limit yourself and say, I can't do this or I can't do that because I'm on the roof or I'm going on the roof and it's going to be, where I have to pull out of life and I can't be in life anymore. That is not the truth. The truth is you do whatever feels correct for you. It is just a good time to just be yourself. And ultimately, that is the gift for everybody, is just to be ourselves and to let life flow the way it's supposed to flow and to walk the path as the stones appear before us. I mean, that's ultimately how it all plays out. So I hope that was helpful. And again, I will be back another time and talk about any topics that I'm getting a lot of questions about, or if you have questions about something, please let me know. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time, bye for now.